I first want to get this video started by trying to solve this query right here. So our goal is to try to list the name and the price of all products that are more expensive than all the products in the toys department. So we can probably answer this query with only the products table, because we're just talking about naming and pricing of products. So to solve this query, we need to take a look at all the different prices of products that are specifically in the toys department. Taking a look at the data inside of here, it looks like there is only one product in the toys department right now. So that's this first record right here, and it has a price of $876. So we essentially want to find all the other products that are more expensive than $876. So if we take a look through here, we'll see that there's only one other record that's more expensive. The record with ID 6, so it looks like it's a mouse that's in the grocery department for some reason, whatever, and it has a price of $989. So ultimately, we would want to find this row right here. And that's what we would try to find if we were trying to answer this query. Let's think about how we would actually write some SQL to answer this thing. Well, there's definitely an easy way and a hard way around going about this. So let's take a look first at the easy way, of course. So one way we could try to answer this query is to write out something like what you see right here. So something like select name and price from products, and then we want to find all the different products where their price is greater than $876, because you and I were able to verify and make sure that the most expensive product in the toys department was $876. Now, why is this kind of the easy way out? Well, not only is it kind of the easy way out, but it's also really cheating. We are only able to write this query right here because you and I can visually inspect all of our data and notice that the most expensive product in the toys department is $876. But in the real world, we might very easily have way too many products to do that kind of visual inspection. So if we have a ton of products, then we can't very easily just scan the list and say, oh yeah, that item right there, that's the most expensive one in the toys department. If we have thousands or even millions of different products, we can't do that visual inspection. We would have to write some query of sorts to find the most expensive product. So with that in mind, this very simple query, the one that we start off with right here, would probably not work out by itself. We would actually have to break this into two separate queries, or two separate steps. The first query would be intended to just find the most expensive product in the toys department. That would give us the 876, and then we could write a second query that actually looks like this right here, where we would put in for 876, we'd put the result of the first query, where we found the most expensive product in toys. So ultimately, we might visualize that in this sort of fashion. We might do an initial query where we try to find the most expensive product in the department of toys. We would then take the result of that query right there and stick it into a second query, specifically into that spot. Now, anytime that you get into this kind of scenario right here, rather than writing two separate queries and sending them off to the server separately or your database separately, we can instead combine these two separate queries down into one by using something called a subquery. So when we do a subquery, we're essentially taking one or more queries and kind of merging them all together in some way. Let's take a look at how we would combine these two specific queries down into one by going back over to pgsql.com. So to combine these two queries into one by using a subquery, we would first write out the outer query, or essentially the second one that we want to write. In this case, this is the second query, so we're going to write that one out first. So we would put in select name and price from products where the price is greater than, and then this right here, this is where we would want to have the first query, the one where we need some value from to complete the outer one. So if we want to insert or stick in another query inside of here, we would put in a set of parentheses. By putting in a set of parentheses, that creates a subquery. So inside of here, we can write in a second query. The second query will be executed first by the database. The result of it will be taken and then provided to the outer query. So inside of these parentheses, we could write this entire initial query, the one that's going to give us the max price of all the products in the products table where the department is equal to toys. So we would write out that first query, essentially, or the initial one that we want to run inside of those parentheses. So something like select max price from products where department equals toys. And toys should be in single quotes, like so. Now, when you write out the inner query, you are not going to put any semicolon at the very end. We only put a semicolon at the very end of the outer query. Okay, so let's now try running this and seeing what happens. Well, it looks like I've got some pretty realistic prices here. It looks like they're all prices that are more expensive than $876. So I'd say that this is probably working out correctly. All right, so we've taken a look and gotten at least an initial impression on subqueries, but of course there's a lot more to them than just this. So let's go over some notes and things you need to understand around subqueries in the next video.